we've finally gotten the entire formula out. I want to pause now and have a moment to think about the formula. So, as I mentioned earlier, I had Dave construct the formula as how I imagine it, and I think he captured it pretty well. It's in a PDF, and you can download it. And actually, I'm going to have a sip of coffee while I wait for you to do so. Okay, you have that formula? I actually printed out a copy of my own here. I want us just to pause and look at it a bit. Maybe even mark it up, take some notes, and think about how this formula works. Now, it's printed very small in Dave's handout, so I'm going to need my magic glasses. Ah, there it is. So the governing concept of the formula really lies with its circular nature. And we can see that nature in a couple different ways. I mean, the formula is still a story. It still starts with a beginning, it moves through a middle, and it gets to an end. But it's a story where the punchline is told in the very beginning. It's not a story of surprise, it's a story of a journey that unfolds and that we know where we're going at the end. So the first thing about the circular nature is that the beginning predicts the very ending, and the ending is anticipated by the beginning. So what does this mean? This means, on the one hand, that because the one compelling point is up front, it means the audience is going to feel secure. They're going to understand where they're going. And you can really emphasize that first point. You can really push it. You can really bring urgency and passion to that first point, because it's important that they hear it, because you want to get it into their mind so that as you begin to unfold your modular content units, as the details come out, and as you push them, they're still thinking of that first main point. So the trick of the modular content units is that they're endlessly expandable. They're like gears in the car where you can smoothly go, and if you push a little on the gas to get into that next gear, it'll lead the talk forward. It'll give us a forward movement, some power with each shift. But you might also think of those modular content units like train cars in a long freight train, each coupled around a keyword strongly. That keyword allows us to carry over, pulling the next one along. You emphasize the keyword here, and then you link it to the next, and it pulls us along. In that way, the talk has a kind of flexibility because train cars or gears can be skipped, and you can make other attachments through keywords, or they can be expanded. And that's important because you're going to remember those keywords. You're going to remember them and use them in your mind to make those links. But overall, the importance of a circle cannot be underestimated because there's a kind of paradox in that circle. And I know I've emphasized paradox before, but remember, a paradox are two statements that are nevertheless true, but are in self-contradiction. So the paradox here is that you're going to begin with the one compelling point, but the one compelling point is where you get to at the end. The beginning and the ending are the same. And that's hard to realize because really, when you start working on your talk, you don't know what that one compelling point is. So the whole point of what I am teaching you in the circular fashion is that you have to begin by using the formula, aligning your modular content units, coming to the common denominator, writing that as your conclusion, but then coming back and pushing yourself to include that in your introduction, explaining the beginning, middle, and end, and then presenting that one compelling point in the introduction. This is very important, and it brings us back to the notion that the formula is simple. 3 by 3 by 3 by 3, we march along. But it's not easy because it asks you to push yourself to get to the end and come back to the beginning and master it. That's important because it hits again at the notion that we are all afraid of presenting in public. We all want to be brilliant. We all want to stand on that stage or stand before a boardroom and make a brilliant point. But the weight of that challenge is often crippling. It's overwhelming. It freezes us up. We don't know where to start. So start simple with the formula. Write in, welcome to my talk, and go from there. Add up your points and then push them. Push them to keywords. Collect the keywords in your mind and push yourself there to come to that one compelling point, and push yourself one step further so that the one compelling point is up in your introduction and the whole talk from start to finish locks in. You are going to be brilliant. You are going to deliver a successful presentation that marks you as brilliant, as special, as unique. But you're not going to do it by magic. You're not going to do it by just waking up one morning and walking in and being brilliant. You're going to do it by pushing yourself, by pushing each point a little further, and by coming back and revising that introduction so it anticipates that one point and puts it out. We can all be brilliant because we can all push ourselves a little further. Onwards